Hello students, welcome to class 12 physics. In this video we are going to start the next chapter, that is chapter number 2, electric potential and capacitance. And here we are going to cover two topics, that is electric potential energy and electric potential. Now, before knowing what is electric potential energy, first of all let us see what is conservative force. That we have already studied in standard 11 about the conservative force, right? It is the force that is being exerted within the conservative fields, that is the gravitational force, the magnetic force, the electrostatic force, the spring force. Such forces are called as the conservative force. Why? Because over here the path taken by the object in moving from one point to another, that is not important. What is important? Only the initial and the final points. So let us consider one example. Suppose I want to take the object from point A to certain height, point B, right? That means I need to lift the object in the upward direction. That is against that of the gravitational force. Against this gravitational force, I need to provide an external force to take the object at a height from A to B, right? That means I am providing the external force and the object is displaced by this distance, that is from A to B. So, the work is said to be done by this external force. Now, the work that is done by the external force in lifting the object up to certain height, these work done is stored in the form of potential energy. It is stored as potential energy. Over here we can say at point B, right? Whatever work done by the external force, it is stored in the form of the potential energy. We know potential energy is what? It is the energy possessed by the object due to its position. So at this position, it will be acquiring the potential energy. And where does this potential energy comes from? It is the work done by the external force, and that is stored in the form of potential energy. Now at this point, when the object is reached over here, I need to remove the external force. So what will happen? When I remove this external force, logically you can know that when you remove an external force, by default, by the gravitational force, the object will be again coming down, right? So what actually happens over here? Here, the potential energy that is acquired at point B by the object, that object uses that potential energy, and with that energy, it will be coming from point B to point A. That means using that energy, it will be displacing from B to A. And we know the object that is in motion possesses kinetic energy. So what happens over here? When the object starts from point B to point A, that is when it starts its motion from B to A, it will be losing the potential energy and it will be gaining the kinetic energy. That means whatever amount of potential energy is being lost by that, it is reduced by the same amount of kinetic energy it is using. So, the amount by which it loses potential energy by the same amount it gains kinetic energy. So we can say the sum of the potential energy and the kinetic energy is conserved over here, and thus such type of forces is called as the conservative force. Once again, we are doing over here work by the external force in taking the object from one point to another point against that of the gravitational force or the magnetic force or the electrostatic force or the spring force, whatever type of conservative force is there. The work done by the external force against this conservative force is stored in the form of the potential energy. And these potential energy, when the force is removed, when the external force is removed, these potential energy is used up and the object again comes down. The object again changes its direction. And that type of force is called as conservative force. Over here, at every point you can see the sum of the kinetic energy and potential energy remains conserved, it remains same. And such type of forces is called as the conservative force. So, as we already know, this gravitational force, magnetic force, spring force, and electrostatic force. These forces are the conservative force, because in all these cases, for all these forces, what happens when the external force is removed, the potential energy is used up. The work done is equals to that of the potential energy. Right? Now let us see what is electropotential energy. Here let us consider a charge Q at the point O, that is at the origin. Consider a charge Q at the origin, due to which electric field E is produced. Here we are considering the charge Q as the positive charge. It is placed at the origin, and due to this source charge, the electric field is produced around it. Now, let us consider a test charge which is also positive near to that of the source charge. And let us consider 2 points over here. We need to bring this charge near to that of source charge. So, consider a test charge which is positive and its value is very small compared to that of Q. Here, the test charge that we are using, that test charge is positive and its value is very small. Why we need to take a small value of the test charge? So that it does not disturb this configuration of this source charge Q. Right? It should not disturb the configuration of the source charge Q. And for that reason, we need to take the test charge as small as possible. Otherwise, if you are having the same value of the charges, then what will happen? Not only this charge will exert force on this charge will also exert force on this. That means because of this charge also comes in motion. But here what we need to do? We just need to change the points of this test charge. And so we need to take keep this value as small as possible compared to that of the source charge. So the test charge should be of the small value. Now what we need over here, as you can see over here, the source charge and the test charge both are positive. So what will happen? Repulsive force will be exerted on this test charge. That means because of this source charge, this test charge will be moving away from the source charge. That is in this direction. Electric force will be there. Right? What we need to do? We need to apply an external force against these electric force. Here, repulsive force takes charge Q away from source charge Q. So what is required? External force takes the charge Q from R to P. Right? Repulsive force takes the charge from P to R. So we require an external force to bring that charge against the repulsive force from R to P. So clearly what is that? Here the external force and the electric force are equal and opposite in nature. So what will be that? These total force will be equals to 0. The net force will be equals to 0. Now see, when we apply the external force on the test charge and take the charge from R to P, then work is said to be done. That means the work that is done by the external force in taking the charge from R to P, it is stored in the form of potential energy at this point P. Work done by the external force in taking charge Q from R to P, that will be what? That will be WRT equals to integration from R to P F external dot dr vector. That is force into displacement. Why we have taken integration? We are finding the total work done to take the charge from R to P. So it is the integration of F external dot dr vector. Now we know F external is equals to minus F electric, that is the work done is against the electrostatic force. Electrostatic force. So it can also be written as WRT equals to R to P. Instead of F external, we can write minus F electric dot dr vector. Now, these work done is stored in the form of potential energy at point P. Work done is stored in the form of potential energy. Right? So, WRT, work done by the external force, F external of dr vector, that is equals to the potential energy, or you can write delta U. Right? When at this point you remove the external force, the potential energy is used up by the charge, and using that energy the charge will go away from the source charge by the electrostatic force. So the potential energy stored by the charge at this point, right, it gains that energy in the form of kinetic energy. When it starts its motion over here, it loses the potential energy. At the same time, it gains the kinetic energy and moves away from the source charge. So at every point on the path, we can say the sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy remains constant. It is conserved. So this is the equation for the potential energy, and its definition is work done by the external force. Work done by the external force against the field, against the electric field, in taking the charge Q from infinity to a point within the electric field is called as potential energy, electrostatic potential energy. Work done by the external force against the electric field in taking the charge from infinite point to a point within the electric field, it is called as electrostatic potential energy. Now you can see potential energy is equals to work done. So unit will also be that of the unit of work. That is, its unit is, because it is energy, you can write it as joule, or it is Newton meter, because here you can see work done is nothing but force into displacement, so Newton into meter. Dimensional formula for that is first write MLT. Newton is what? Kg meter per second square. Here it is meter, so kg meter square upon second square. Kg for that m1, meter square for that m2, per second square, that is in the denominator, so it will be -2. So this is the dimensional formula for electrostatic potential energy. So students, you may note down this theory first. So we have seen that electropotential energy is nothing but work done by the external force against the electric field to bring the charge from infinity to a point in the electric field, and this work done is stored in the form of the potential energy. So as we have seen, WRP is equals to delta U. Here delta U represents what? It represents the potential energy difference. That means here it is the potential energy difference between these two points. That is UP minus UR. That means here we are considering the potential energy difference and not the potential energy at particular point. So what is important to note down is that from these equations, energy difference between the points is important, and not the actual value of the potential energy. because work done is equals to potential energy difference and not the potential energy at particular point. So actual value is not important, but the potential energy difference is important. Here in this equation you can see the left hand side equation, which is the left hand side term is the work done, and here by the characteristic of the conservative force we know that work done, it is important the initial and the final positions. Here for the work done, it depends only on the initial and final points or final positions and not the path taken. Work done depends only on the initial and final positions. Here we have seen the initial position is R, final position is P. So these positions are important and not the path taken by the work done, as this is the characteristic of the conservative force. So potential energy difference is equals to the work done and not the actual value of the potential energy. So these 2 points are the noteworthy points. Potential energy difference between the points is important and not the actual potential energy, as well as the work done depends on the initial point and the final point and not on the path taken by the charge. Our next topic, that is electric potential. We have seen that electric potential energy is what? That is work done by the external force to bring the charge Q from infinity to a point within the electric field, right? And that is against the electric field. That work done is stored in the form of potential energy. So we have seen the equation for the potential energy, that U equals to W, right? So work done, that is directly proportional to Q, right? Because here work done is equals to force into displacement, right? Force is what? That is QE. So work depends on Q. To make it independent of the Q, you need to divide the work by Q. So that work done becomes independent of Q. And this leads to the electric potential of the charge at that particular point. So electric potential, in short we can say, is work done per unit positive charge, and it is denoted by V. So we can write V equals to W by Q in general. Here work done, that is what? This is the general equation, V equals to W by Q, or W is equals to what? That is potential energy, U by Q. In this previous topic, that is potential energy, what we have seen, work done to bring the charge from point R to P, right, by Q. And that work done is equals to what? That work done is equals to the potential energy difference, that is delta U by Q. Delta U, that is what? UP minus UR by Q. So potential is also what? Potential is Vp minus VR. So here Vp, that is what? It is nothing but the electric potential at point P, and VR denotes what? Electric potential at R. At point P, VR is electric potential at R. So here the definition can be written as, you just need to replace by unit positive charge in the electrostatic potential. So definition is work done by the external force against the electric field in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to a point in the electric field. This is the definition for electric potential. You just need to replace the charge by unit positive charge. Right? Now, unit for this electric potential, that is what you can see over here in this equation. That is W by Q. So, for the W, that is for the work, unit is Newton meter upon charge Q. So, its unit is Coulomb. So, unit for the electric potential is Newton meter per Coulomb. Or you can go by this equation. Here delta U represents what? It represents the potential energy difference, and for energy the unit is joule. And over here in the denominator we are having charge, so its unit is Coulomb. Right? Now the dimensional formula for that. What is the dimensional formula? First of all, let us write N L P. Right, here we are having Coulomb also. So first of all, let us write in terms of Q. Newton meter. Newton is kg meter per second square. Here it is meter. So kg meter square upon second square. For kg N1 meter square L2 upon second square. So T minus 2. Here Coulomb we are having in denominator. So Q stands for that minus 1. Right. If we write that in terms of A ampere, then ML is A. See, here instead of this Coulomb, right, you can replace that by IT, because Q is the charge which is equals to IT. The equation current equals to charge upon time. So Q equals to IT. Here unit for Q is Coulomb, here it is ampere, here for time it is second. So you can replace this Coulomb by ampere second. So in denominator what we are having? Ampere. This remains in kg meter square. Here we are having second also. So one more second. So in denominator we are having second cube. So here it will be, here it will be minus 3. And for second which is in denominator you will be having minus 1. So dimensional formula is M1, L2, E minus 3, A minus 1. So you may note down this definition, formula, unit and dimensional formula. Now let us find the potential due to point charge. So suppose we are having a point charge Q which is placed at the origin O. Here we need to find the potential due to this point charge at say point P. Let the distance between these O and P be the vector distance R. Let us consider another point P dash. and it is having the position vector r dash. And let us consider an intermediate point having distance delta r dash. Here we are considering the infinity point. So here we are having a point charge. Consider a point charge q which is positive at the origin also. We need to determine the potential at point P. Potential of the charge potential at this point P. Now what we must be doing? Here you can see the infinity, right? We need to take the test charge from this infinity up to point P. So consider a test charge which is also positive. To be taken from infinity to point P. Now see, first of all, at this point P dash, right? Let us consider the test charge plus Q. Here we are having plus Q charge, point charge. Here the test charge that we will be bringing will also be the positive charge, unit positive charge. So let us consider at this point we are having a unit positive charge plus 1 coulomb. Right? Here the electrostatic force on this test charge due to this point charge will be what? Force on unit positive charge at P dash. That will be what? Here we are talking about the electrostatic force. So it will be F electric equals to K. Here point charge is Q. Another charge that is plus 1 charge upon the distance between the two charges. Here we are talking about the test charge which is at point P dash. So distance between them is r dash. So it will be r dash square and unit vector r dash cap. Again here we are having plus 1, so simply we can write k q upon r dash square, r dash cap. Here r dash is what? R dash cap, that is unit vector along OP dash, right? Because when we place the charge over here, the force exerted on this test charge will be taking away from this point charge. So it will be from O to P dash. So r dash cap is what? Unit vector along OP dash. So the work done against this force in taking the charge from P dash to this intermediate point, which is at a distance delta r dash. Work done against this force, that is the electric force, to take charge from r dash to r dash minus delta r dash. So that will be what? Delta W equals to forces kq Now the distance covered, that will be what? That will be delta r dash, right? Here it will be minus. Why? Because it is done against the electric force. So here the work done is by the external force, because what we are doing, we are taking the charge from P dash to this intermediate point. That means external forces to be provided, which is against that of the repulsive force. So it is minus Q r dash square delta r dash. Electric force is Q r dash, Q upon r dash square into r dash unit cap, right? Unit vector. And so the external force will be minus of this. So work done by the external force, that will be minus of this electric force. Okay. So now the total work done will be what? Total work done to bring unit positive charge from infinity, that is r dash is equals to infinity, to r dash is equals to point P, which is at a distance r. So that will be equals to what? Total work done is equals to integration of this delta W, because here delta W is what? That is the work done to bring the charge from this point P dash to this intermediate point. And to get the total work done, we need to take the integration to get the whole part. That is from infinity to r. From infinity to point P, which is at distance r. Here delta W, that is what? Replacing this equation. So that is equals to infinity to r, delta W is equals to minus K Q upon r dash square delta r dash. Here taking the limit delta r dash tends to 0, we can write it as dr dash. So that is equals to integration from infinity to r minus K Q upon r dash square dr dash. Here taking K Q outside, even minus taking outside, minus K Q integration from infinity to r 1 upon r dash square dr dash. Integration of this term 1 upon r dash square, that is equals to minus 1 upon r dash. Integration of this is minus 1 upon r dash, and lower limit is infinity, upper limit is r. Now first substituting the upper limit minus 1 upon r minus lower limit, that is minus 1 upon infinity. These term become 0. So what we are having? Minus K2 into minus 1 by r. So this minus minus gets cancelled. What we are having is K3 upon r. These work done per unit positive charge is nothing but V at point P. So potential is equals to K3 upon r. So the unit positive charge, when bringing it from infinity to a point within the electric field, the work is to be done by the external force against the electric field, and this work done is called as the electric potential. So students, you may note down this derivation.